I think that's the big goal for us is the humanizing piece that you brought up is something that's really important to me, and not just like we're building a fantasy game for people to come play by themselves and like have a great time. We really want to bring like your real friend group in, like we want you just talking about sports, talking about whatever else that you like want to within the text messaging stuff. Like that's really important for me.
All right, I'm here with Jay, founder of Propellor. Our audience knows you because you've been on our Quick Hits series back in May up at SBC. We won't have to get into Propellor because they know who you are. Talk to me about what's been transpiring in the last 6 months.
It's been great. One, to see you guys again. It's been kind of cool to catch you guys in person. It's been a lot of fun. You're both very tall, so for everybody who's watching this, just know that they're very, very tall. The last 6 months have been really great for us. We've been just pushing product launches. We're really big on, thinking through everything we do very specifically and like not pushing stuff that's not going to matter, but also pushing stuff very quickly and like getting stuff out, letting people see it. We've been breaking things lately, which is both a good and a bad thing. Kind of learn from that, but don't want to do it too often. Been doing that. We've been going through, raised a little bit more money. We've been going through the process of getting everything set up for real money gaming. Just the like dredge of paperwork and legal stuff that we have to go through. That's where I spend like the huge majority of my time now is just paperwork and legal phone calls and all of that stuff.
Yeah, well, I did want to say just one thing on your product, right? Like, I love everything that's happening in humanizing the sport, humanizing the game, humanizing betting, right? So when you bring it together with your friends, with other humans, other people, I think that's where the magic's going to happen, and it's really been fun to watch you guys attack that space and to grow. All right, so let's talk about real money gaming and just like the chaos that's with that.
Yeah, it's a lot. So it's really interesting as you start going through the process, right? You have to find a payments provider, and you have to find a KYC provider, and you have to do ID checks and geolocation and AML policies, and every one of these groups or every one of these things comes from a different group. So we currently have 3 different law firms. We have our general counsel, 2 other law firms doing different things.
Yeah.
And it's pretty wild how quickly all of the paperwork piles up, all of the little things. I feel like I send our same like list of documents to 5 people every single day. They're like, where are you a registered company? Do you have like your articles of incorporation? Are you good standing with your state? Like all of that kind of stuff. And I just send that all day, every day.
Yeah.
And then I get stuff back from everybody and just have to fill all that out. It's a lot. I tell myself that I enjoy doing it because, it's something that's really important for us. It's going to be a huge just driver of growth for us. Like when we get there, like really letting people on and kind of getting to that next step that they want.
Well, the problem with, I don't want to say problem, the hurdle with Propellor is it's not just one individual.
Right.
Talk me through that.
Yeah, so for our platform, if you think about some of the other companies, Prize Picks, Underdog, whatever it is, they're all single player individual games. So if I live in Georgia, if you're in Georgia where you can play any of those games, you can just hop on, you can play, not a big deal, you don't have to think about it. For us, because we're team-based with you and your friends, if you think about like your buddies from college, we all go to college in the same place, and then some people move back home, some people move to new states for jobs, you start to spread out really quickly. And so we have to think really deeply about, well, one person is playing in Georgia and one person is playing in Colorado and one's in California. So we have to make sure that we're set legally across all of those places. And one thing that we're working on, which I haven't seen anybody else do, I don't think it's out there, but I could be wrong, you never know, is we're actually going to let people enter tickets either with cash or with points. So that's a really big thing that we've been trying to piece together.
It's pretty new.
Yeah, and with it being new, we have to go through all of those legal things again. So we're working with a gaming specific firm, and I asked her this question. I was like, this is what we want to do, kind of walk her through it. And she was like, no one has ever asked me that question before. I have no idea like what that looks like. Let me get back to you.
So us as entrepreneurs, we have to chase those questions, right?
Yeah. But that's kind of the fun part of it, right? Like having an idea and then having somebody who's like been in the space way longer than me, like very deeply being like, I straight up don't know. That's a new question for me. Like I kind of love that.
That's awesome. All right, crystal ball moment. What does the next 6 months look like?
Yeah. ideal crystal ball, I get to choose kind of, what's going to happen there specifically. We get cash games out really quickly. I would love to have it by Thanksgiving. That's a really, really ambitious goal. Probably not going to happen, but I like to set kind of ambitious goals and go for it. As long as we're up and running before the NFL season is over, I'm super happy. We release cash games. We get to turn around. We're right in. Basketball is getting ready to start. Hockey just started today. Well, there's a game on Friday, but full hockey starts today. We still have golf going on, baseball playoffs going on, college basketball getting started soon, college football running. Like, we have a lot of stuff. And so if we can just have a little bit of something for everybody, and you can get with your buddies, you're just having a good time. Like, I think that's the big goal for us, is the humanizing piece that you brought up is something that's really important to me, and not just like, we're building a fantasy game for people to come play by themselves and like have a great time. We really want to bring like your real friend group in. Like, we want you just talking about sports, talking about whatever else that you like want to within the text messaging stuff. Like, that's really important for me. I've had multiple people say that like they've connected with their friends more than they had in the past, just because they kind of came together around fantasy sports. It seems like a fun thing. But now they're just talking every day, whether it's about sports or life or work or whatever. Like, that is something that's really cool to me. We also had somebody tell me the other day that they could breathe. They felt like they could breathe compared to when they play on other platforms. So like, just thinking, our UI UX is really easy to understand. It's nice when you jump in. That was a really like huge compliment for me. Like, I can't think of anything much better than that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we're rooting for you, wishing you guys the best, and really looking forward to see how fast you guys go.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, Thanksgiving's right around the corner.
Man, every time I say that, it's like 2 weeks closer to Thanksgiving, and I get very nervous.
So if you launch by then, do you get to have 2 pieces of pie?
I think if I launch by then, I'm going to ruin the Thanksgiving trip for my whole family, because I'm just going to be buried in my computer, and they're all going to be like cooking or outside playing, and I'll be like, leave me alone. I got stuff to do.
Well, always fun seeing you in person. Enjoy
absolutely.
G2E.
Yeah, it's
chaos out
massive. Yeah, I've been walking around for an hour. I've gotten lost every 10 minutes. No idea where I'm going.
Well, thank you for finding us.